What's up guys, my name is Michaela and welcome to my channel Michaela Art Treasures. Today in this video I'm going to be showing you a speed paint that I did and kind of telling you what was going on in my mind as I was doing this piece. I was inspired to do this video and draw a panda by my little panda squishy that I got a few days ago. For all my YouTube videos I keep a little note for all the videos I would like to do in the future, and they're marked by Mondays and Fridays since that's when I do my videos. So I had marked my panda speed paint for maybe next Monday instead of this Monday. But my mom wanted to try out some watercolors, so I decided to do it with her. Even though I'm not that big of a fan of watercolors, but I just thought I'd film while I was doing it, so I did that. And I actually really enjoyed using my watercolors. At the moment, I'm just using my watercolor pencils, but later I changed to my actual watercolors because the watercolor pencil colors just weren't very pigmented, if you know what I mean. I apologize for the big shadow that is covering my panda all the time. I really apologize about that. The lighting, I was downstairs, so I didn't have the light that I usually use, so the lighting was a bit weird. I hope you can still enjoy the piece. So, if you are wondering what type of watercolor pencils that I was using, pretty sure it's General's Kimberly watercolor pencils. My first ever video that I did with them. So that's the brand of ones I did. I used a big brush to fill in most of the body and then a little brush to get down next to the weeds and stuff. Whenever I can't see part of an animal in my reference photo, I always just draw in these little bushes. If you saw my chisel tip challenge, I did little bushes on that too because I couldn't see the kangaroo's legs. So if you look at the body, you can see just how splotchy it is, which is why I decided to go back in with my Reeve's watercolors. Is it Reeve's? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how you spell it, Reeve's. So I just went in with the full body. I outlined most of it once it dried with my watercolor pencils with just a brown watercolor pencil because I didn't want the outline to be too dark, but then again I didn't want it to be too light or not there at all, so I did brown. And now I'm going back in with my watercolor just to darken it. And I'm really glad that I did that. I used a little bit of my straw watercolor pencil. That's what the color is called. It's not made out of straw or something. So I just put the brush in water and put it directly on my pencil to get the color to kind of blend my tan into my white a little bit on the ear, and I don't think I did it on the neck, but I did it on the ear. And after this, I pretty much just used my smaller brush completely for the rest of the panda. I think I used my big brush later to make some bamboo, but for now I'm just using my smaller brush. I cannot tell you what size it is because I really have no idea. So now I am coloring in those weeds that I talked about earlier, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. You'll see in the title I call it my best piece ever or something like that, because I am super proud of this and how it turned out. When I started coloring with my watercolors, I had this image in my mind of what I wanted it to look like, and once I was finished it looked exactly like that image. Also, I am trying out a new way of filming. I'm kind of doing a bunch of different angles and zooming in and out and stuff to kind of show you different angles of everything and different places that I'm doing. So here I'm using a bit bigger brush to draw in these bamboo stalks. Man, I'm running out of breath. For the past 5 minutes I've been doing one total voiceover. So yeah, takes me back to the what was I thinking one voiceover challenge. This is fun. So I used a lot of different brands of watercolor. I used Crayola, I used Reeve's, and I used my General's watercolors. So really the only place I used Crayola was in the leaves that I'm doing right now. And don't worry, it looks very yellow, but I change it. I shade it later. So, back to trying new things and new ways of videoing. I'm trying out doing different speeds. So usually I just put my videos at one speed, which is I think 5 times the speed or 6 times the speed is what I usually do. But here I have a range of 5 to 7. Like when I want to slow it down, I'll put it at 5. When I want it to be super fast, I put it at 7. So let me know how you feel about that. Man, my camera just flipped over. That was weird. So now I am kind of drawing in some little hills and little hills. I don't know what else to call them. Just to give it a bit more perspective. I apologize if you can hear weird noises in the background. That is my dog barking. Yes. She has a very odd bark. So I did not really like how dim my grass was. So later I had this cup of dark green water, and it was just super dark green from rinsing my brush out so many times. So I dipped my brush in there to rinse it off, and then I went back on my paper and it made the grass darker. So I went over all of it with the dark green to make it look better. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this piece. So you see here now I'm adding in the shading that I talked about. I'm pretty sure I zoom out so you can see the rest of what I'm doing. But I put, for all the leaves I use Crayola. So I put a darker green than the yellowish green on top. I thought they would be closer to the same color, but they weren't. So then I put an even darker green on. I have no idea what I was thinking. That's why this video is called What Was I Thinking? So I did that. I also added a bunch more bamboo stalks in the background. And then what I did was I didn't like how pale and yellow the leaves were anyway. So I just took that same pale yellow and went over it all again, blending through all the dark spots and making the yellow darker. Yellow, pale, green, darker. And I really like the effect that it made. See here, I'm doing that now, and it just looks super cool. I apologize that I'm out of frame a lot during this. Oh, there we go. There, I zoomed out. So I was trying out, like I said, doing different camera angles. But I also, because I was doing watercolor, I didn't want my camera to get in the way of what I was doing. I put my camera on this tiny little tripod and put it in front of me and film what I'm doing and just point it down at the paper. So that was a little bit of a struggle. I did not like how it was not in frame most of the time. But I really hope you like this this picture of what I did. Here's the final picture. You'll see I added little sign in Chinese, and the 2 signs I did, they mean panda, And then I wrote the title of the piece, which is called Beautiful Giant. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and always remember, God loves you. Bye!